Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders! We are here with episode 130. In the common vernacular, 130. Matt, Dan, and John here with you in the studio. How's it going, guys?
It's good, great, but happy to be back. I took a little sabbatical over to the Disneyland for a week.
Yeah, and I've got Disney World coming up, so
it's gonna be. I've got Star Wars Celebration / Disney later this spring. But anyways,
yeah, so we're all a lot poorer for it. So
yeah, no kidding. Also, a lot more plague ridden today. I know me and Dan are fighting a cold, and John, it sounds like you've just been burning the candle at both ends.
Oh my god! Well, so I was dealing with a girlfriend who was dealing with a cold this past week. I thankfully didn't get it, so hopefully if that I didn't get it from her, I won't get it from you guys. We'll see.
But you broke your leg in a half marathon too.
Yeah. I did the half marathon last weekend, the rock and roll half marathon. Without getting too much into it, running 13 miles on pavement is a lot different than running on a treadmill. And yeah, I learned that the hard way, so I'm dealing with what I'm pretty sure is a broken ankle right now.
Wow.
Of course, that was before walking around Disneyland in California.
Yeah, I was going to say, you finish the race, and then you're like, I'm going to Disneyland with a broken ankle probably, and then let's do another 15 miles each day on there.
Yeah, so that wasn't a great idea. I'm paid for that right now, and I'm probably going to have to go to the ER sometime this week to get it.
It doesn't matter, though, because you got to go on Rise of the Resistance finally.
I did, yes. I got to go on Rise. I mean, we did it the right way. If you're going to Disneyland, hit that up right away. As soon as the park opens, hit up Rise of the Resistance because it.
Did you have to use that Genie app thing?
Yeah. So they do use this new Genie lightning round system or whatever, and then on top of that, they charge a fee for Rise of Resistance and the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it gets pricey, but it's necessary. We did all 3 of the major Star Wars stuff: Star Tours, Rise of Resistance, and Millennium Falcon within the first 2 hours.
Because the best rides are only for the 1%.
I mean, that's the way Disney wants it.
Did you?
We'll talk about that in the Star Wars news in a little bit.
Okay, yes. Did the ride jerk you around? Did you lose your monocle while you were here?
Gold coins spilling out my pockets. No, it was great. It was
Mein Geld!
Yeah, last time I came, I didn't get a chance to actually go on Rise of Resistance because it broke down. It did break down later that day, today,
of course,
or this week. But yeah, well worth it.
It was fun.
Everything I was hoping for. All
right. Well, as Dan indicated, we do have some other Star Wars news. What's going on?
Yeah. So speaking of giving lots of money to Disney, the Galactic Star Cruiser opened.
Yeah.
And had its first few voyages.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you're purposely not looking at anything.
I've seen, you can't not see screenshots on any, because the Star Wars news feeds for all of my stuff, but it looks cool. I am not clicking on any videos because I do want to go there, and I want to be surprised when I do. So, hey, John, can I borrow a few bucks, by the way?
You gotta collect them off the floor.
Yeah,
Star Tours, so.
yeah, you gotta go out there and sweep it up.
Well, being a realist, I realize that I'm probably not going anytime soon.
Oh, well, so you're just going to go to Disney World and fly across the country and stay for a week.
Exactly.
So poor.
So I've watched almost every video I could on it.
Oh, okay.
So I've pretty much seen the whole experience, and it does look very fun. So people think, Star Wars Hotel. It's not a hotel. It is like interactive theater and improv thing, escape room.
Wow.
You're not going there just to spend the night and then you're out.
No.
Like another.
Yeah.
There is a whole storyline that you get involved with. There is walk around characters that you interact with. Their improv is amazing. They remember people's names. All sorts of fun.
Really?
So,
That's intense.
Yeah. So this experience is top notch, as well as some of the non-human walk around characters. I'm sure you mentioned you saw the
Rodian.
Yes.
Oh man, did you see the Rodian mask or the? Oh
so
man,
it's
it looks amazing.
The mouth moves, the eyes and eyebrows move. It's very expressive for having its mask on there.
Being a full-on mask, yeah.
So and of course these were things that were originally intended to be in the regular Galaxy's Edge, that were then of course budget cut to the premium experience. But
maybe they'll walk around when they do the excursions out there.
So is this actually a cruise?
So it's set
simulated
up like
cruise.
a cruise.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so you're in the Star Cruiser, and it's up to be, you're going on a cruise
Yeah.
on a Star Cruiser in space in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a cruise in that Star Tours is a travel agency. But yeah, that sounds cool. All right.
But yeah, early reviews have been, like I said, very fun and very interactive. Obviously, the biggest complaints have been cost.
Sure.
And they do say that the food is a little weird, so you can't be a picky eater.
Yeah, I did see some pictures. It was like, I don't know if I would like blue food. That doesn't really look
I know
appetizing.
the blue
to
shrimp
me.
is the poster child for this, but so there is but there's a lot more things that I said you can't judge it on appearance,
right?
Because of course they designed it to look all exotic and spacey and whatnot.
The cantina they have at the Star
Cruiser.
Disneyland.
Oh,
Yeah.
at Disneyland.
Has like some really interesting drink menu as well, and they do have some food there, and they do that similar kind of vibe where they make it look kind of alien and stuff. Still tasted great.
Yeah.
And that's been
Did you do the
general-
Rancor sampler?
Yeah,
Of course you
Yeah,
did.
of course.
Like the Bloody Mary.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
You had a few coins left in the old sack. Okay. That sounds pretty cool. Do we have any FFG? It's still programmed in AMG news coming out.
Nothing specific AMG. They did a couple streams, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
And some things revealed on that. But the only real new event locally here is our local skirmish league is going to be starting up next weekend from recording on March the 12th. So
Cool.
we're trying to do something a little different because everyone's, was so hot on LVO and we've all kind of burned out on 800. That
Yeah.
We're going to try something a little different. So
Yeah, I think everybody's just kind of in the rebuild mode, figure out what they're going to do for the next tournament season, all that. And I know, John, you're already locked in there, but
for tournament season.
yes.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah.
For half
Well,
my
I mean,
games.
you've got your list already ready to go. You're chomping at the bit, and just ready to wreck some dreams.
Yeah. Once the Wookiees inevitably get a price jack, probably for the next rules update, I may have to turn my tournament list around a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also had some events happen, bigger events. Of course, the Canto Bight opened recently.
Yeah, we
happened.
talked about
Yeah.
that a couple months ago, I think, right before they had it. But we have results out of there. How's that looking?
Honestly, I thought that the results were pretty cool. They did a top 5 article on Fifth Trooper, and they kind of did a breakdown of all the different different lists that made it. Some pretty good list diversity.
Yeah, I hear you were looking in the mirror for at least one of those.
Well, I mean, it's like looking at a better looking version of yourself in the mirror.
The more handsome, more successful you.
So Bushfax won the event with a list that was almost identical to the one that I was running in my lead up to LVO, and still very similar to the one I actually ran in LVO.
So you're saying you're the list hipster here, that you ran it before it was cool?
I mean, I'm saying that
He's always a hipster.
I'm saying that I found something that seemed like it worked well and was piloted by a much better pilot to much better effect. So I'm not even saying that like I was the inspiration for that. I think that just before we get into that, his
Let's
list.
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so his list that went 6-0, it was a Wookiee, Yoda, and Chewbacca list. So it was Yoda with burst of speed, force push, force reflexes, and vigilance. Naked Chewbacca, 3 naked clone troopers. We got 2 units of melee Wookiees with bowcaster, tenacity, offensive push, and recon intel, and then 1 unit of ranged Wookiees with bowcaster, overwatch, and targeting scopes. It was 800 points, no bid. As anyone who knows Bushfax, he likes to be red player.
Hell yeah.
It's very similar to the list that I ran, like I said, at LVO and pre-LVO. I talked to him a little bit after he won the event and asked him about how things went with him and stuff. And I mean, he played some tough competition. There's by no means am I trying to say that that he had an easy path or anything.
Next time you talk to him like that, hit record. That would be great.
It was on Facebook chat, so
okay.
Okay.
Could we feed it to one of those text reading robots?
So he didn't face any significant gun lines, and that was one thing that I had asked him immediately. Like, okay, what was your secret with dealing with those droid gun lines? Because at LVO we saw quite a few of those, Kraken or Kalani range for double death, double Dwarf Spider Droid, double Magna Guard, gunline list, and I know I had a lot of I had 2 games where I had no chance against him. It felt like. So I was like, hey, how'd you deal with him? He's like, I didn't face any.
Hey, there's your pro tip, guys. Don't play them if you have a hard matchup. Just dodge.
Yeah. So I mean, he said that could have made a difference when it came to final tables. But awesome that he got some effect out of that list. Also cool that he didn't have to rely on Padme, because I kind of gave up on Chewbacca in that, because I felt like, okay, Padme gives me more order sharing. And he didn't rely on that. He took Chewbacca for the bodyguard, and another cool fact, he took Chewbacca because of his 2-pip.
A cool bush fact.
Yeah, cool bush fact.
Okay.
So he played a non-Yoda card in a Yoda list?
Yeah. So he didn't have to do it that often, he said, but there were quite a few Hans at this tournament. And one thing that you're starting to see with Han, besides the fact that he's got steady now, and he's a more reliable character in general, he also has that change of plans card, which is a real thorn in the side of a Yoda player.
Okay.
Anything that forces you to change that order or throw another card in there. At least with Chewbacca, his 2-pip, it gives you some play. It gives Yoda and Chewbacca a round where you're basically saving on a 3-up with deflect.
Remind me what his 2-pip does.
That size matters sometimes. That's where Chewbacca puts Yoda on his back and carries him around. Like
No, absolutely that should be in there.
So when I was playing that Yoda Chewbacca list, I did use that card a few times, and yes, it does interrupt the flow that you want to use with Yoda's cards. It can really give both Yoda and Chewie that round of extra protection, a little bit more mobility, and can at least give you...
Yeah, it gives you an out in that situation with Han.
Yeah, so that was an interesting thought that I never even thought of, because I guess I hadn't seen Han in the meta all that often, so...
Handsomer, more successful you.
Exactly. So, congrats to Bushbacks. The other list that we saw on there, Dan, you want to talk about that Imperial list?
So that was interesting. The Luke Cook's I didn't double bounty.
That was cool. Like,
hey, yeah, that's...
Right.
Wait, what year is it?
Yeah, I know. But I had Iden just with her repeater, Bosk, Boba Fett, some shore troopers and mortars to fill, Inferno, an ISF, and a generic officer. So this was similar, actually, to what I ran. Other than I ran Vader instead of 2 bounty hunters. But yeah, this is interesting that you have some infiltrate shenanigans alongside the ability to bring potentially up to 2 extra victory points.
It's a lot of victory points.
Yeah, so...
And we haven't seen the bounty hunters in a while. They didn't really get touched by the last rules update.
Yeah, because we're expecting them to get redone with Shadow Collective, but yeah.
So it's cool to see that they can still be used even before they get buffed inevitably. So
I mean, I kind of filed them to the back of my mind, just waiting for the updates to come. But I guess they're a tool on your shelf that you can take down and use.
And Bosk isn't bad.
No,
not in his current configuration. It's Boba Fett needs some help, but
yeah.
But that was the 3rd place list. So the 2nd place list was actually a Rebel list. We saw Wookiees and a party bus.
Wow,
near and dear to my heart. The rumors of the AA5 being dead is grossly over
exaggerated. Yeah,
thank you. But yeah, it was Op Luke, triple Wookiees, R2, and AA5 basically. So
cool,
pretty cool list.
Yeah.
Love the fact that they had in the top 5, they had all 4 factions represented, and they had 2 droid lists that were
Well, you're going to have 2 of something in a top 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
Might as well be droids.
But they were relatively different. One of them had an AAT battle tank.
Okay.
The other one was a little closer to the Kraken. Although it did have the snail droid.
Oh,
it did have
interesting.
So that's cool. It's, see a couple vehicles, a couple heavies in there.
I can almost hear LJ's smugness from California right now. He loves that snail.
And a lot of people do. I mean, I've heard some people. I haven't actually even put mine together yet, but I've heard a lot of people get some good use out of them.
Cool. That's good. I mean, you want to see, especially the new releases, hit the table and have some fun with them. Any other noteworthy ones to check out there?
No, I believe that both the cooks were both in the top 3. Bushfax won it, so You did see your typical list of top talent that showed up to this tournament.
Yeah, there's a really good turnout for. I think this was their first event, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations for a successfully run event out there at the Canto Bight. We also had Cherokee Open that occurred. What do we have on that?
Part
one?
of the Frontline Gaming series, which of course, by the way,
is that actually a Frontline Gaming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just like Las Vegas Open, but yeah.
Just like that one,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah, which is, by the way, 327 days. But anyway.
Just had to slip it on in there. I thought we'd maybe you'd forgotten.
There were some interesting parallels. Some interesting parallels with the top list. There were, let me see, I'm scrolling through. One of every faction represented in the top 5 again.
Hey, I mean,
so top 2 were droids, but
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think one interesting thing to see, at least for John to be interesting, Brian Sloan ran that exact same Yoda Chewbacca Wookiee list, just dropping 2 recon intels to get a 4-point bid.
so everyone is better at running the list.
Yes. Congratulations, John. You're now flavor of the month.
But like one of those
Chasing that meta.
One of those experimental flavors that leads to the actual perfected
Oh,
flavor
okay.
later on.
Yeah.
So
You get to be the crash test pilot for
Yeah,
this one.
So you're new Coke? No.
Crystal Pepsi?
Hey, I like Crystal Pepsi.
All right.
No, okay. The Imperialist in the top of Cherokee was a pretty standard Vader triple do. So
Okay.
I mean, that's a proven list. It works.
Yeah.
And then of course usual the Krakens. And there was a Cad Bane list actually. That was Zodiac, who I actually played in LVO.
Oh, nice. All right.
Nice.
Was it the same list?
Looking at a glance, it looks like it is.
Okay.
But it may have been some
Nice.
upgrade tweaks. But
Yeah, a little,
Played Cad
little
Bane in
finessing.
LVO?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't see a single Cad Bane there.
Didn't you know he was the best character in Star Wars?
Oh, I did.
Yeah. No, good. Good. I'm glad
Yes.
you recognize it now.
So yeah, a couple more events, and of course I'm looking forward to LVO coming up.
Let it go, man. Anyways, okay, we've got a lot to talk about from the streams from AMG here, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with that. Hey guys, Matt here to tell you about our friends over at 6UP Supply. If you're like me and don't have access to your own 3D printers, 6UP Supply has you covered with a whole suite of printing services to bring those awesome files to life. The Outriders are proud to be partnered with 6UP, and you could find special themed terrain, gear, and tokens with a big discount for Patreon members in the Outrider Central section of the website. And that's not all. You can also get terrain bases, game supplies, tools, LED kits, and more. Stuff is being added all the time. So stop by the number 6upsupply.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER to save 10% on your next order, and let them help you up your game.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders! We got a lot of news. There's been many streams happening, and there's some exciting stuff happening here too, especially with some organized play things. But we have a nice list here, and I see at the top of the list is something very exciting. Dan, I'm going to toss it into your lap.
Yeah, and again,
I can't read your notes
too.
there, so...
Again, thanks to a lot of people on both Facebook and Discord that have been collating all this information.
Yeah.
I was a bad person, didn't write down names this time, so thank you, though. You know who you are.
See Facebook for references.
Yeah. But shortly after our last episode, they did a stream where they dropped some more tidbits on the CIS Battle Force coming out. It's titled the Federation Invasion Force, which is, it's Naboo Invasion. I'm surprised they're not using the name Naboo in this, but here's the fun part. With the new force organization chart here, you require to have at least 4 core units, but you can have up to 8.
That's a lot of B1s.
Yeah, right.
So to all the droid players out there, are you excited to build 2 more squads of B1s?
You should be good at it by now.
Yeah, true. 0 to 3 support, it was said. But interesting thing, they said that an AAT is required.
I mean, required one. Yes, absolutely.
So I'm curious because they didn't mention which commanders, and the current commander pool doesn't really fit for a Naboo invasion themed thing. So, because there's no new Gunray commander yet, unfortunately.
No, and they didn't really have the T-series droids or anything. It was just some yellow-colored B1 out there.
So some series.
They have the new Gunray model though, don't they?
They have the new Gunray's assistant. I'm blanking on his name right now. That's the hostage model. The little guy who's like, we don't go against a Jedi, and
So you can just use him as like a stand-in for a T-series or something. I don't know.
But I'm assuming they'll have some sort of field commander that goes in that tank to do that. So
there probably aren't any printed files that would work well for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
No.
The crazy thing is, I just went to a list builder just for funsies, and I threw in 8 naked B1 squads and a naked AAT, so without upgrades. But it was still only like 440 something points. So
still a lot of room.
Still a lot of room for interesting
stuff. You can have your Darth Maul in there.
Maul, Staps, just for fun. Another AAT.
Droidicas.
Droidicas, of course.
Oh, Droidicas.
Yes. So they did mention one of the cards coming for the command cards. The 2-pip is called Unrelenting Assault. Issues to 2 core units. After a friendly trooper spends 1 or more aim tokens, a friendly unit at range 1 to 2 can gain an aim token. So they basically copied coordinated fire over
from the
droids.
And
from Imperials. Coordinated fire was Imperials.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking the Dodges. Yes, you're right. Imperials,
But that's, that might be even more effective with the the droids, seeing as how you have so many core units.
True, you're passing around a lot more of those tokens then. Especially if you're dumping them all on the AAT.
Yeah, oh god.
Hey, Republic, here's some token sharing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Check this out. Yeah.
And then on a following stream, they talked more about the Republic 501st. So they said that the only commander choices for the 501st, of course, is Anakin, Rex, and generic clone commander.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yep.
The minimum force organization is 1 commander, 1 core, 1 special forces, 1 support.
So you have to have at least 1 support.
Right.
Huh.
Interesting.
So
okay.
a BARC or an ATRT or something in there.
That's interesting. 1 core.
Yeah.
1 core.
Well, yeah, they said the focus was
but still, I was expecting to have the spec forces be like a higher minimum on that, but that's interesting.
Another interesting, they said no operatives, 0 operatives in this.
So you can't bring Padme along.
Can't bring Padme now.
How do they feel about disintegrations?
Of course, when they mentioned this, the chat brought up hey, what happens when Ahsoka comes out? Because people are assuming Ahsoka's going to be an operative. Anyway, the dev stated, of course, that any battle force could receive updates to add any relevant units when they're ready to release. Because remember, guys, these battle forces are just PDFs, just like the RRG. Yeah. If a new unit comes out that fits in a battle force, they'll just push an update, which is cool.
Type a few letters in, hit enter, and be done.
Well, of course, type a few letters in, send it to LFL licensing, wait how many weeks for an approval, and then it comes back.
I wonder if they just, since they know for, the next 2 years what's coming out, if they didn't just, get those pre-approved and they just kind of remove it from the list.
Lucasfilm bureaucracy.
Okay.
Like I said, they got to make sure that when they release the Chewbacca Underoos, that the
come
Vandalers
the
on the right
bureaucrats.
side.
Wait a minute. Are there Chewbacca Underoos?
I would be shocked if there were not. As for the special forces, they said ARCs and ARC strike teams are the only thing allowed. And so, sorry, John, no Wookiees.
So I will not be playing Republic 501st.
Never really expected, although you do have pretty much an entire painted clone army.
I do.
Yeah. Just it's for looks.
For the Instagrams.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do what Jeff does and rush through painting an entire army the week before an event.
Yeah, even on rush mode, I think he only gets 2 to 3 models done. So he's very detail oriented.
So before you think you can throw 4 strike teams in there, they did think about that as well. So you have to take 1 full squad of ARCs before you can take a strike team. So if you want to take 2 strike teams, you have to take full squad strike
2
team,
and
full
2.
strike.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Because they did say maximum of special forces was 4. That was on a previous thing. They said the only heavy in that list is the LAAT.
Yeah. Okay.
And for the command hands, it has 2 1-pips. One counting as a 2-pip during our army building.
Oh.
So you'll have 3 1-pips in your hand on that. with that army.
Interesting.
I mean, it seems like a lot of stipulations in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get lots of cool things.
Yeah.
Extra arcs and...
I'm really curious what those, those cards are going to be like. Having a bunch of 1-pips available sounds pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I mean, just like Maul
Yeah.
has that, or Han. Well, Han's a 0, but yeah.
Maybe they'll sell more LAAT kits then.
Actually. But finally, in the most recent stream, they did talk about the new...
Let's savor this moment, because it's so exciting. All that other stuff was crap. The real news...
Wow.
I'm just kidding. It's all awesome.
I was about to say, battle forces are pretty awesome.
I'm just trying to build up the tension for the drum roll.
Dianoga?
Yeah. Okay, come on.
Those are
Declare it, stream it.
anticlimax.
Yes, I know. Thanks, Dan.
That's what I'm here.
Yeah, okay. It's like the human personification of a damp blanket. Thank you, Dan. I say that with all the love in the world.
A room temperature.
Room
blanket.
temperature. Slightly damp.
Yep.
And clammy and all that. Anyways, okay.
It's like, are you
So
looking at my
unnatural
soul
resources OP kit. They've talked about this, and now we finally got some details.
So yeah, they said, of course, it's going to be previewing at Adepticon, and that the your local game store should be able to order it after Adepticon. They didn't say how soon after, so I'm hoping it's soon after. But they did show off a little preview of what comes in the kit. It does come with the unnatural resources card that shows off the scenario.
You've got the printout there.
Yep,
so
I got the printout. A bunch of gas vent tokens, a Dianoga token, and a alternate art force push of Anakin pushing Asajj Ventress.
Yeah, that's interesting, because usually most characters that appear on card art will eventually appear in the game.
At least that's the
That is
conspiracy
the
theory.
rumor. Yeah.
Cool. That's
So
awesome.
yes, so Ventress confirmed.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they would have done that otherwise. That's cool.
The Dianoga token is definitely going to be replaced with a 3D printed Dianoga at some point.
Oh yeah, there's already a couple of the 3D printing groups out there that are pushing their renders, saying, "Hey, it's
gosh.
coming soon." So I'm not surprised.
One of our local guys, Dan Areco's got the 3D printed little baby Rancor.
Yeah.
I think that would be perfect for that too.
Oh, yeah.
The only weird thing, at least I thought it was weird. I know it doesn't actually functionally affect the game, but the token size of the Dianoga is slightly bigger than a Tauntaun, speeder bike sized base.
Oh, that little
Yeah,
mid-sized
so it's
base,
it's like 3 to 5 millimeters. I'm kind of eyeballing it because, of course, they showed it on stream and we had to screenshot it and try to figure it out from there.
Enhance.
You
Yeah,
don't
enhance.
think that it might just be an error because you don't have the physical copy in front of you?
No, well, they put it on stream. They literally put a Tauntaun model on top of it.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, there it is. There's the
I
picture.
screenshotted
Thank
it there.
you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is. Yeah,
So
it's,
I thought it was weird that they didn't do it on a base, but then reading the rules
say
for
that's,
natural resources.
5 to 6 millimeter. Yeah, all the way around.
Yeah, and hence,
And hunts.
yes.
Yeah, that's a nice zoom in. Good cleanup on that. Digital
So-
forensics.
Just to clarify, this is not a scenario you can play for competitive play. It's one like the downed ATST where it's just like a fun scenario.
It's a fun scenario, though. I mean, it'd be fun to have a little event around it, see who.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a good time with the downed ATST scenario.
Does the Dianoga get an action that says Chomp Luke Skywalker?
It doesn't call out Luke. But of course, they, in the little preview that they put on Twitter, did show the front side of the card where you put the deployment. And its deployment is on a 6x3. It's the same as advanced positions where it's the 1x3 of the long edge and then 1x3 coming from there in an L shape. There's 7 gas tokens in a diagonal pattern on there. It says, during the end phase, each player gains 1 victory token for each gas vent objective they control. You control it if a friendly trooper unit leader is in base contact with the token, and no enemy trooper leaders are in base contact with the token. So there's 7 of them out there, and you have to be the only one touching it. If both people are touching it, it's a wash.
Huh.
At the end of any round, if a player has 14 or more victory tokens, that victory, I totally brain farted there. 14 or more victory tokens and has more victory tokens than their opponent. the game ends. Otherwise, the game ends after 6 rounds as normal. So, I mean, the devs say that points will rack up quick.
Yeah.
Because if you, I mean, and honestly, I think this actually favors horde armies to just rush.
Yeah, that CIS Federation Invasion Force sounds pretty good right now.
But the interesting things they said, where was my notes?
Is this a full 800 point?
Yes, full
Yeah, it
100
is.
point.
Okay.
So on the back of the card, which they showed on the stream, they literally just flashed it on the stream. Mm-hmm. And Pagani said, I'm sorry, Chick said, hey, don't show it to him. Let's keep it a surprise. Though thanks to Enhance, we were able to screenshot it.
There are no secrets on the internet.
No secrets on it. So on the back of the card shows how the game is run. Some interesting things on here. It actually says disallowed keywords. The keywords bounty, infiltrate, and secret mission cannot be used.
Okay.
So you can't just rack up extra points on the side.
Not that
And you
their
can't-
characters can't be used that
Right.
have those, just that those rules
keywords
are no longer
aren't used in
operable.
this thing. Army building, players use standard Legion army building rules.
Okay.
So that means that future scenarios could have some sort of army building stipulations on these cards. But this particular one doesn't.
That makes sense.
Setup, follow the setup steps. Skip steps 5 through 7, which is basically skip the battle card steps because you're using this battle card. And the gas tokens have an obscuring gas. Trooper units that have a unit leader in range 1 of the gas vent improve their cover by 1.
I mean,
So
so most of that board is going to have at least cover 1.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think
So
Scout Troopers are going to be really good in this scenario.
yeah. Anything with low profile is going to be really good. I have to reread on smoke. I wonder if it improved. Yeah, it says improve their cover by 1. So if you drop smoke on top of this, you go ahead.
You basically have cover 2.
Sure. Let's make it extra foggy. Let's get the lasers going. We're going to play some Pink Floyd. This is going to be great.
Yeah, you put 3 Scout Trooper units in that on turn 1. You probably have 3 objectives scored right there.
Yeah, because they're Scout 3
Yeah.
anyway. So.
Yeah, and if you throw smoke grenades on them, then all of a sudden they've got cover 3.
Wait,
On those
you guys
things.
are already trying to figure out how to win the game?
Oh, absolutely.
I just want to have the Dianoga chomp some people.
Can you kill the Dianoga?
So that's interesting. The Dianoga is not actually a unit on the board. It doesn't have health. It can't be attacked or shot.
It's an agent of chaos.
It is an agent. Actually, it is a very, very chaotic agent here. So the roaming Dianoga token cannot overlap a mini or objective token, and vice versa. The roaming Dianoga must be placed flat on the battlefield and cannot overlap or be placed on terrain. So that's weird. I'm curious how that interacts with area terrain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, you could always just house rule or
Yeah.
make an agreement with your opponent. This is a for funzy scenario. Don't need to call judge.
At the end of the command phase, so after you issue all your orders, the player who has the fewest victory tokens may place the roaming Dianoga within range 2 of its current position. If both players have the same number of victory tokens, the player without priority places the Dianoga token instead. So whoever's on the back end gets to control the Dianoga. After a non-repulsor unit performs a move, and if it's in range 1 of the Dianoga, that player that controls the unit places the token within range 2 of its current position. So basically, you can scare it away by running at it.
Oh.
They call it disturbing the waters is here. So I guess you're just
Splashing around. Yeah.
And then lash out after the Dianoga token is placed, or a non-repulsor unit ends its activation at range 1 of the token, which I don't know how it does if you move. I guess if you don't move it far enough away. You roll 3 defense dice, and each non-repulsor unit at range 1 takes 1 suppression token for each block and 1 wound for each surge.
Okay. So 1 out of 6 chance of
a wound.
losing a wound.
Yep, and then a 50-50 on getting some suppression. So it's going to be around just suppressing the hell out of people, potentially wounding them.
So it's not like dead, like super deadly.
No, it's not super deadly, but it's going to be annoying as hell.
Yeah. That's for each unit or
fair.
each model in the unit.
Yep, within range 1 of it. So each
Okay.
unit within range 1. So it's basically a little suppressive mine going off
Okay.
around it.
Wow.
Yeah, so droids actually aren't maybe not the most effective way of getting rid of the Dianoga, at least.
Well, I mean, they don't care about suppression as much.
That's true.
So actually, I think the Droid Invasion Force might be the winner on this one. But of course, we're armchair generaling here.
Yeah. I want to get all the Falcon crew, everybody in there. If I could get alternate sculpts for like Luke and Han in Stormtrooper armor. That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
about perfect.
Yep, and a New Hope Leia.
Yeah, exactly, with the cinnamon buns and everything. But yeah, that looks really cool. I'm very excited. I'm hoping
Yep.
we're gonna have more OP kits like that. Maybe Vader down at some
Yep,
point.
and I'm already talking with our FLGS owner here to say, hey, as soon as this kit comes on, for order,
Let's get multiples.
let's get multiples of this
Yeah.
so we can run an event for it. So
Yeah, that would be really, really cool.
So yeah, so definitely talk to your local game store, have them order this kit, because I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, at the very least, you get more scenarios to play for funsies or organized events. But yeah, it's new stuff coming out. Very excited.
Did they say when that's supposed to be coming out?
So it's going to be previewing at Adepticon.
Okay.
And they said it'll be available to order after Adepticon.
After that, so-
Unfortunately, they didn't say how soon after. Hopefully, it's right after.
Yeah.
So we're still looking at a few months before we get anything
Yeah.
substantial.
Yeah, but of course, those skirmish kits are already in the wild from the previous OP kit, and our local game store, we're running a skirmish league to use that. So definitely reach out to your game stores, get these OP kits, because honestly, the more that are ordered, the more that it shows AMG that, hey, this is something that the players want, and they'll make more
absolutely.
of them.
Yeah, hopefully we'll, not sell out so bad that not everybody gets one, but that we'll definitely put a serious dent in it, and everybody wants to play it can. But anyways, as we talked about, there's a new tournament season, quote unquote, coming up, at least how I clock my tournaments. And I know I'm working on a new list that I want. I'm not going to do double T47 this year, but are you guys preparing any new changes to your list for the next big tournament? Because I think we're going to be going to San Diego. I'm going to Lone Star Open. You should go to Lone Star Open, Dan.
I'm seriously considering San Diego, but not sure about
At
flying
least
out to Lone
San
Star.
Diego. Come on.
San Diego was good. I can drive there.
Yeah,
exactly,
that's always
yeah,
nice
yeah.
too. But any changes
well-
to your guys' list that you're going to be doing?
I'm still tinkering around with my Yoda
Yeah.
Wookiees list. It's a fun list. It plays the way I want to play it. I'm hoping something in the meta comes around to maybe tone down the range 4 gun line that's popping up here and there. But
You would like that.
I would. I don't like gun lines. But yeah, I mean,
Waiting to see if the Wookiees get points increase.
That's probably inevitably going to happen. I'm hoping it doesn't happen anytime soon. But the thing is, like, I'm starting to see the value in the ranged Wookiees, and I don't know that they're going to see a points hike.
Okay.
I have nothing to base this on other than just pure speculation, but I could see the melee Wookiees going back up to their original cost.
Okay.
They
gut
seem
feeling.
like such a no-brainer for both Rebels and for Republic, and I think having two factions where there's one special forces unit that stands out head and shoulders above the others isn't necessarily great for internal balance. So I could see it happening. I don't want it to happen because I do love my melee Wookiees too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for the meantime, I will definitely be sticking with my Yoda and Wookiees, and maybe try out Chewbacca again instead of Padme. See if Bushman's onto something. Obviously, he is.
Yeah, I think you're
If anything, it is one more Wookiee in the list.
That's true.
That's a good
That's what
point.
it's always
Yeah,
been.
that's very exciting. More Wookiees is more fun. My list, as I said, I'm kind of getting away from the double T47. Doesn't mean I won't go back to it, but I want to play with Wookiees, with an Op Luke, and actually trying to get Sabine in there too, and just a generic Rebel officer. Some of the Hoth Defender, the Rebel veterans in there to back up C's objectives. But and then the melee Wookiees is where I was looking. Maybe I'll go back and recalibrate. Buy some more kits for the ranged Wookiee configurations. But I think it could be a lot of fun. A lot of, as you say, push it forward and see what happens kind of thing. Dan, how's the Imperial forces these days?
Well, I'm focusing more on the skirmish side of things since I'll be
'cause
running the skirmish league here
sure.
right now. So
Do you have a
yeah, actually,
list?
I have an interesting Krennic Death Troopers, 2 Shore Trooper squads with heavy, and 2 E-Webs.
Ooh.
So it's
Wow.
basically deploy the garrison, all the standbys. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, it was E-Webs on a 3x3 sound like a much better idea.
Oh yes. So we've been at the local game store doing a couple skirmish matches just to warm up to this. And yes, there's a couple of deployments where I'm turn 1 in range to do that.
Oh,
So-
Very cool. So you're saying a 1.4 FD laser cannon is probably where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like, once we get a couple of the skirmish games underway for the league, what units are shaping up better in skirmish than they do, in a normal 800-point game. Because I know, like, from what I've heard from other people, like ATRTs and Republic, terrible at 800 points, really good at 500 points.
Is it for the flamethrowers or just the fact that they can range everything almost
just
immediately?
the ability to use that what do you call fire support, because they're very good as a fire support platform.
Right, yeah.
Then with armor, and if your opponent only has 500, they don't have as many points to build counters.
Yeah,
the things to combust
too.
armor.
So just double ATST.
Well, skirmish, you can only take one heavy.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
But yeah, it'll be cool to see what what shapes up with that. Yeah.
Nice. But anyways, that'll do it for this episode, guys. Of course, you can always find us out there on the interwebs. John, where can people locate you?
I am on Instagram, Outrider_John, and OnlyFans at Long Gun Wookie.
There's probably some actually disappointed people out there that can't find that. Keep trying, guys.
No.
It'll show up eventually.
Everyone be thankful it doesn't exist.
Dan, how about you?
Outrider Dan on the Discord, and of course I do like to hang out in your streams.
Thank you, and you can find my stream. Speaking of streams, I've got a special event coming up on the 18th of March, 2022, if this is too far in the future for you. But we're going to be doing a fundraiser. I'm going to be part of a team relay on Twitch, raising funds for Ukrainian relief through care.org. So please do stop by. You can find me at twitch.tv/captain_archer, or find me on Twitter at grn_archer, and I'll have some information on that. But hopefully you guys will join me for that. As always, thank you to our Patreons for making this all possible. We'll catch you next time, guys. Have a good one.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.